Okay, let's see here. Welcome back, everybody. We are live back on the Sam Crescent Art Show. We're working on comic books, we're working on drawing. Let me check in on the social medias, making sure everybody is there. Twitch, welcome. Welcome, Kick. Welcome, YouTube, and welcome, Facebook. Let's see here. Let's get the multi-chat launched here. Hold on a minute. Restart this so that I can see the chat in one place. What's going on? Where's my multi-chat? Maybe I gotta put it. Well, I'll try opening it again. I've been using what's this thing called? Social Stream Ninja. But for some reason, it's not giving me the multi-chat. Usually just gives me a link and it opens it all up in one place. Let's see. Maybe it's this. No. Where is the multi-chat? Well, I might be without it today. It's not working. I probably have to re-sign in or something. Which I'll do another time. Let's just get this party started. Wrong with it. Yeah, it's saying that it can't find the stream, so it looks like I'm gonna have to probably re-sign into each thing. Anyway, gotta get going here. Gotta get working today. There's a lot to do. It's later in the day than normal. Work our way through a few more frames of this animation here. So, right now, I'm just fixing this box because it's got a lot of drift. And I'm just going to fix a few frames of this box. And then we're going to work on some other studies and whatnot. See, this is off. Should be about there. Whoops. Oops, I need to put this marker on here. Otherwise, I get drift. See how this box is moving around? I do 3 frames, and then I'm going to go into some Bridgman because I skipped the Bridgman studies yesterday. Won't be skipping them today. Let's get one more for good measure. I'm gonna have to move this box down a bit. All right, last one. Boy, is that one off. Gonna be there. Okay, that's pretty good. We just want this box to be seamless. I'll just finish it. We want it to be moving around the same access point. Then I'll adjust that spinning cube. But right now, I want to get this box so it's same volume. Let's see here. Through there, through there. Let's put that guy there. Here. is going to be squared. Oh, I got that one so drifted out so far. Out there. Pretty good. Yep, so let's mark our center point there. Turn this on here. All right about there. Rotate it to there. It's actually pretty much in the center. Okay, last one. For this exercise, here's it, we're there. Okay. Press down. Press play, see where we're at. So here we have a little jump before it goes back to the beginning. So we'll smooth that out with a few frames tomorrow. But the next one is, this is pretty much rotating the same location. This one we need to move it down a bit. And now we need to get this box so it's rotating and not changing size on us. That's all I'm going to do for today on this, because it's mostly technical skill now. It's not really drawing skill anymore. Let's go File, New. Let's work on some Bridgman here. We didn't do it yesterday, but I'm going to work on it today. And this is from Bridgman's Book of 100 Hands. And we're working on a couple more shots from the back of the hand. And then that'll complete that section of the book. And we'll be going to excuse me. Been having a lot of phlegm this morning. not clearing out. Usually it's cleared out by now. My sinuses, my allergies have been brutal. Okay, hopefully that's over with. Let's see what we can do here. Too much. All right, let's just get the trajectory of this thing here. So let's just draw it in now. We've pretty much got all the information. What he's got here is a hand that's going from a very interesting angle. All right, so today is Thursday, May 28th, 2025, 25. Cruising through the week. I have a graduation I need to attend to today. I've got to go to the screen print shop and pick up a couple more screens, prep a couple more print jobs, get things ready for upcoming events, upcoming conventions. I will be at Phoenix Fan Fusion in the wonderful city of Phoenix, Arizona next week. I want to make sure I have everything in place for that. Right now I do not. I've been having a hard time getting restocked. Been fighting my old screen printing press. New one will be here though soon, and it should be much better, much less of a battle. That's more or less what we have. Let's go in and solidify this a little bit here and try and see if I can get these shapes a little more accurate. There, the thumb, and he uses this kind of boxy shape here. Comes through. This is a bit longer on Bridgman's. And then he has the interosseous muscle. He has it overlapping here with some heavy shadow. Coming up. Out, there's a knuckle. There. So this one come up, and then this one goes off the thing. It's foreshortened off. Now here, kind of like that. Well, I think a little bit low. He's down here more. Comes here. Gets the styloid process of the radius. Comes up. This one's coming down and in. Here. Okay, now let's get some of his rendering in here. He's got the indication of the palmaris longus muscle right here. All right. There. I'm not sure those two tendons right there. I'll have to learn them. This is interesting. That's the part of the not dorsal interosseous. Dorsal. What is that muscle called? I gotta look it up now. I gotta know it. It's down this way. Extensor communis digitorum. I mean, we've gone over that muscle so many times, and for some reason, it's still not sticking. Extensor communicus digitorum. There. Here, he actually has a overlap right there of the finger. That's going there. A little bit of thumbnail here. Rendering there. Rendering there. That's basically it, pretty simple hand. Only one I want to get rid of is that, because it's kind of confusing me. It might even be up there more. Don't know. Something like that. I think my angles aren't exactly the same. It doesn't matter. Let's turn on our onion skin, and then actually let's copy this frame for a few of them. So let's go duplicate. No, that doesn't work. Okay. Let's go. Okay, we'll do 5 frames there, then we'll do a new frame. And Benjamin's bones are pretty pretty rough. But we'll see what we can get from here. I don't even know what the heck bone is this. This isn't a bone. This is like a bunch of bones. Let's do whatever the hell it is Bridgman was doing here. And maybe we'll look up these bones, because I'm like, the freaking hell? Okay, we can't go outside of the skin. All of a sudden his bones are going to be breaking out of stuff. If I went with that, it's got to be that. That is useful to know, that kind of shape there for the thumb. Again, we can't have bones breaking out of the skin. Side plane on this. There. Then we've got something there. This is the radius right here. Actually has it going like that around. And then this would be the ulna here. Except it's like that. Ah, where the hell is this? Okay, he does have bones popping out in this one. Wouldn't be there. Let's do that. Bring that like that. Okay, so there's the bone. Okay, so we go here. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Now let's go, we'll switch back to this bad boy for 5 frames. All right, so now. All right, now let's stop. Oops, you gotta press the button. Okay, now let's see if we can find these. Let's see if we can find these bones really quick and delineate them a little better. So, bones of the hand. And the problem is none of them are going to be in perspective, but okay, I see what bone that is. So if I look at this bone right here is a scaphoid. Scaphoid. But then this is where I actually disagree. Because really there'd be a bone here. Locked in there. And this would be the capitate. So this one here, he didn't draw it. And he's wrong. Then he's got this. There'd be like multiple bones plugged in here, but they're kind of turning away from us. There's 3 here, plus a little one up off there. So that's where we would want to correct Bridgman. Let's use a color. I wonder if I could do this. No. Go here. It's on alpha lock for some reason. Yeah, I don't know how these work. Like if I want to draw under here and color it, I guess I could. I don't know. There's got to be an easier way to do it. Actually, a bone here. a view one there. Like that's where the bones actually are. Those would be the real bones of the hand. You'd have trapezoid. You'd have pisiform. You'd have hamate, and capitate. No. This is capitate. This is lunate. Lunate. You might not see all those actually. I think Bridgman is correct because some of these are up higher, so they're actually over here. So you wouldn't actually see them. So I'm wrong. He's right. Move on. Let's go new file, new. All right. Turn that off. I was on the right track, but then I'm like, oh, you know what? He actually is right. Okay, let's look at another Bridgman. I wanted to look at did all those. There were these little hands that were like just barely drawn. Here, this one on this page. Let's so he has two interesting ones. One's is coming here. This angle there. These angles here. Looking at the paddle. Let's get this drawn in. So we've got the knuckle coming down. This takes a lot of concentration for me still. Look at that angle there. It is kind of there. So actually we want to extend that further. This angle is actually kind of more there, I think. Sometimes these little simplified hands are the hardest. I find the smaller simplified hands are always harder to draw than large hands where you're drawing in all the anatomical detail. The hands where you have to omit information but still make it read like a hand, that's the hardest part about drawing hands, in my opinion. And that's kind of where I need to take this study of hands, is in that direction. He does not do a very good job there. He's just like a mass. So that's pretty terrible. And Bridgman's drawing's not very good either. So let's see if we can fix it on another layer and kind of clean it up. So this is angled there. Angles here. Yeah. Now comes in here, and we have the middle finger here. And he blocks it off here. And then it comes down. Then he does the next two knuckles kind of as a lumpy mass. Now I see what he's got now. So he's got this one here. It comes in. That one he's got there. Looks really weird. There we go. That's what it is. Comes out here and then turns it into the wrist, and he draws where the bone is right there. Now for this one, let's look at the angle from here to here. It's right there. No, what about there? That. Put it in. Put that there. This swoops in. Still off. It's a tough hand to draw. There. He's got the... It's basically it. Now what I would do is I'd probably put in a little bit of knuckle there and kind of dorsal interosseous. You know, it goes down these fingers, but it goes down the middle of them. So yeah, that is right. We're gonna make some more tension on it. He put a big knob here for that radial styloid process of the radius. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go, well, we know the dorsal interosseous muscle goes like that, and then we'll just take off the outline of it. It just looks bad. I'm taking it all out. I'm gonna leave it the way Bridgman had it. So like that is the hand. And then he's got another hand that goes this way. Like that. Clean it up a little bit. Draws the... There. Hooks on. This one's a stronger hand drawing of a hand, I feel like, than the other one. But I wanted to give these a stab, these little kind of hands that he did where he's got a minimal amount of detail. And this is kind of cool here. He puts the knuckle in there, and then he hooks that there. This one I really dislike, actually. That's more or less what he has. If I was going to try to improve it, well, there is just have a line coming here like that. If I was going to try to improve it, I'd probably render out the bottom this way and give it a plane. Something like that. All right, time to work on the comic book. Strength Monsters. Let's see where we're at with this. And tomorrow I'll start working on probably on the front of the hand for Bridgman. So in the comic book, I've got to draw the background. And let's see what we can do here. Good. So I can click all those guys on and off with the click of a button. So let's do that. So we've got panel 3, panel 2, panel 1. Panel 1's background first, and that's going to be on the bottom. Let's do that. I'm not going to label it yet because we don't know. All right, so we'll keep the we'll make this whole layer here semi-transparent. And let's get started. It should be fairly easy to do. I'm wondering if it might work better with this G pen than with the dead pen. What we've got here that I need to delineate is kind of a rock structured wall. This is the side of a cliff. And it's more or less kind of just if you kind of just build your rocks coming out of the area indicating where they are, you'll end up usually with a better looking thing than if you try to draw every rock in like I did here. But it's fine. We can correct all that later. We have some grass kind of growing here. I'll get some of the underside of this grass here in shadow. And what we want to do is take our eraser and kind of have some overlap. Some of the strands. We'll do some more of that later. We don't want to try to repeat shape. See how I repeated that shape? That's another mistake. See, I repeated that shape. Always got to look to not repeat yourself. So we've got that. Continue this rock structure there. Yeah, let's know exactly how I want to do this. We'll kind of bring this up and back to here. There's the grass. We'll use our eraser now to kind of make some overlap between some of these blades. But some of the blades are coming towards us, overlapping other blades. I think that's pretty good. And we've got this here, kind of coming up the face of the cliff. That's pretty cool. We've got this rock face here, there. As far as here goes, I mean, I feel like maybe a little indication of some things happening, but it doesn't need much. Really all we need. And another kind of line I like to do when I'm doing rocks is just kind of like this. Rendering lines like that. Moving around the form. Showing us that there is a rock here. Okay, let's see. Turn off the original sketch. You can see we've got a rock wall building up now. Okay, that's background. So here's what we're looking at here. So we've got a cliff here. No thanks. Make these lines come a little differently here. Pretty cool. It's got a little bit of a platform that he could be standing on. We'll put some more grass in down there. Going for 49 minutes. It's 8:25 on Thursday. All right. I'll fix this a little bit. These guys off for a minute just so I can kind of see better what is what here. That's looking pretty cool. If I turn off the original sketch, you can see we have a nice rock kind of landscape coming in here. Okay, so got alligator standing here, so we kind of have some flat ground there. And this is gonna, okay, I see what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna have some kind of like grass and stuff coming off to the side and then bring it in. A little bit better. All right, that some more grass there. Morning. Put some stuff like that. And you're really not going to see any of this ground area, but kind of build it out anyway. Turn off our background sketch, and it's looking like a pretty cool landscape. It's something that landscape is another topic. This is a made-up landscape that I created out of my imagination. But I've painted so many landscapes and observed them and seen how other artists do them that I'm able to make them up. Now, 10 years ago, I couldn't make up a landscape. I was just remembering one of these illustration I did of this guy standing on the tongue of a cobra on a hillside, and I was having the hardest time inventing the hillside. I needed to invent a hillside. I couldn't do it, and I had to look up all these different hillsides, and I finally kind of made one up based on, 5 different hillside references that I found. Better save this. I don't know what that was about, but that was kind of scary. I don't want to lose my work here. This is coming along kind of cool. Give it some of these shapes here. It looks like I did something there. And here we still have some rocks coming up out of grass. Kind of indicate dirt and things of that nature. And give it the look like open up a little bit more now. I'm gonna actually erase off some of this because it's right by where Robot's standing. And so I don't really need to interfere with him. That's interfering with him. I'm not going to interfere with him, and then I proceed to interfere with him in the most dramatic way possible. Go the other way with this. The key to a lot of this landscape stuff is you just kind of let the reader complete it. If you don't connect everything up, it'll look more like it's coming out of. This is terrible. But it'll look more like it's coming out of the ground. Okay, so we've got the grass here that we need to get in. Yeah, let's just look in here. I feel like we need kind of. Where is this going? You know? It's going nowhere. Let's fix that some more. There were some topics that I had in mind to talk about today, last night, and I already forgot what they were. These shapes aren't working for me, so I'm just going to leave them out. Remember that. Those aren't working. We're going to leave them out. Shape's not working for you, just get rid of it. Come back to it later or something else. Tangent right there. Don't want that. Don't really want to do that. Let's do this instead of doing that because it doesn't come out right usually. What I want to do is let's design some. Well, let's turn our underlayer on. If we design like a plant here. There we go. And then we'll have this plant coming through here like this. And we'll make a vine coming down there. All right, so let's tighten this up here. See if we can get this to work. Our lines a little bit there. I'm just making some kind of exotic plant here. That's pretty cool there. So now it's kind of like we have some more foliage here. Put one coming out here like there's something else growing back there. This will not be seen, but I'm drawing it through anyway so that when this is animated, I have a full background, full aspect ratio, and everything like that. And let's get some more stuff done. Turn off panel 2. We don't need it on at all. Let's just kind of design it. I kind of got real sketchy here, but let's kind of get some of these other leaves in. Pretty good. Now, these are just some sort of like viney coleslaw that I'm going to put in here. For whatever. Looks pretty cool. Let's turn off the original sketch. The panel. Let's see what we've got there. There's stuff happening. We need to kind of fill in this area with something because the animated version, it's gonna need something in here. We parallax, we have cameras moving, you know. But a lot of this can be I might need to look at some reference or something because I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself now too much instead of coming up with new ideas. That rock wall continues up. Grass there. And I'm going to kind of put some grass in. We'll just make this all like a grass section. Just gonna put in some lines delineating that this is grass in here. Not to repeat myself too much. That line's bad. Now let's kind of get some darkness in here. All right, we've got the landscape coming along pretty nicely. Let's see where we are with it. We need to bring it all the way down to here. Let's kind of get where we're going with it in. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, making comic books is hard work. It's hard work. Out of all of the things that, all the different disciplines, concept drawing, storyboarding, animating. Animating takes, in my opinion, more education than doing comic books, because you actually have to have a knowledge of how things move and work in real life, or it's not going to look like anything. But comic books, assuming that you know that you've actually studied, there's a lot of people in comics get away with being very stylized over actually having any kind of fundamentals when it comes to their drawing ability and such. But as long as you with that said, comic books is still the most amount of work. I mean, animating it's completely different. I'm talking about traditional animating, drawing frame by frame. That could be considered just as much work, if not more, than comics. Because literally, if you're trying to animate something, you can't really do it all by yourself. It's very hard. All right, so I feel like that's kind of where it ends. So that's where we've got to go with this. So we need to get some ideas about some different plants and such. I think that of some foliage might be a better break there. I kind of have, I don't know. Let's kind of keep working with this foliage idea though, and getting, some plants here, some plants coming up here. Maybe a boulder there. I've got to kind of sketch out the design here, because like I said, I was repeating myself a lot. And then I'll get some rocks coming out there. All right, that works. Let's turn off this and let's just kind of start working it here. We'll make a rock coming out like this right here. Take that off. Erase this off. Clean up some of these lines a little bit. It's getting a little messy here. Most of this is not going to really be seen much, but some of this is just looking at the years that I spent looking at and studying old Tarzan newspaper strips. They would do just plants in this style all the time. Now it's starting to look like there's some actual jungle that's coming into this. We'll put a big plant there. Whoa. It's good to kind of get crazy a little bit like that, though. See what you end up with. All right, let's clean this up a little bit so we can kind of see where we're going with it. That has to be in front of that one. Something like that would be pretty good. Let's get something here, man. I got to kind of figure out what's in front of what. Or just kind of put these shapes together a little bit more. Just kind of some grass now in there. Now, some other things I could do is I could do, let's see what the characters are. Well, I'm just going to leave it as is there. You know, I could do some more things coming out, but we'll just kind of texture this up like it's becomes, you know, it's like a mass of thick grass and such. I think that's done. Let's turn all that off. That background is done. What do we have going on here? Clean this up. Turn off that. We need something going on here, even though we have this guy. We can just do some simple stuff going like that. And that'll work. Now we've got some kind of a texture, some kind of a thing in place there. Kind of put some a little bit more line weight on some of these now. All right. What I'm going to have to do is start making notes of the topics that I could talk about so I don't forget about it when I jump on the stream and start working, because then I just don't have anything to say. I think with this comic book, you know, I mean, one of the things that I'm kind of hoping to achieve too is just showing people that, proving, I guess, in a way that I am the real deal. You know, you can come on this stream and you can see me make stuff up, create stuff, do drawing studies, go through my discipline, my practice, everything, every freaking day. All right, now what we have is this here. So down here we have the city, the sky, all this stuff. We need to put that in. So let's put in the skyline. So here, I actually do want to go with a dead pin. We're going to have these kind of mountain range back here. Now we've got the city down here. Which I've delineated as a bunch of blocks. Well, these are, I don't even know, but we'll do the best we can with this. So it's like the idea is you can see the city that they came from down here in the valley. And it's actually working, so I'm just going to keep drawing it. We do want to give a shadow side to these buildings and such. Little structures off in the background here. Kind of just get some blocks going around the grid. And then we can make, based on where these things are, can make some more interesting shapes. Have that there and there. What else? You want to park right there. Put some trees back there. Like that. We'll make a one there. I'm literally just making this up as I go, just putting in box after box after box, trying to create something that looks like, you know, there's inhabitants down here. Let's take a look at it without the. Yeah, you can see it's working. Like we're building this little town out. It's not the funnest thing to do, but it's something that needs to be done. Basically, I'm just trying to get this thing blocked in, this whole town blocked in. Something here like this. Um, let's do another set of buildings here, maybe. Foliage in here. Something there. Tree back there. Stuff like that. These are not working. Goes out. I'm just going to draw boxes. And then I'll just restyle those boxes as I go. I think that's gonna work. I think that's enough of a semblance of a city. There's gonna be characters there anyway, so that gives us an idea that there's something there. So now let's just go in and clean up our city a little bit. Okay, now if we go through the city and I just give each side the shadow side, it's going to help kind of pull it together. It's going to kind of it'll kind of cover up some of the drawing mistakes and inconsistencies. I mean, if we were to go in here and grid out the entire perspective grid and do the whole city like that, we would be here for a day. And we've got to tell stories. We can't just do I want to do an awesome city, but I also need to tell a story. And so this city is a minor background now. It is a character in the overall story, but it's not central to everything. So try and keep everything going at this sort of diagonal, and then we'll drop some cast shadows down, and that's going to kind of flesh things out for us some more. It's easy to become overwhelmed, especially when your script calls for, okay, we need to have this city in the background. I want to show that it's there to build some, some sensibility of place. And when you're tackling big projects like this, again, like how do you not become overwhelmed? Well, you have to think about each thing that's in front of you. What's going on, man? how do you become, how do you keep yourself from not becoming overwhelmed when you're trying to tackle a big project is think about each thing that's going to be in front of you in each moment that's going to move the pieces forward for you one day at a time. The main problem I find is just people getting distracted and jumping project to project before finishing the thing that they're doing, that they've started. That's really the issue that I come across the most. See, just putting some ground shadows like that kind of fills in some of the dead space, makes it look like there's more going on down here, like there's more buildings than what I actually put in. And kind of what we want the case to be, you know? Really, this is a background, so I'm not going to go in and put any thick and thin lines or anything because it's going to ruin, it would ruin the whole atmosphere of this thing. So let's take a look. I think that's pretty cool. So we got this upper background completed. I'm kind of thinking I need to call it a day here. Unfortunately, because I'm running out of time, I'm going to work on a few other things. But that's about all I can handle. So tomorrow, we've got to do this background for panel 2 right there, which is, I think I could just get away with taking panel 1, shrinking it down, and then warping it. So that's what I'll do for panel 2, and that way it'll match up. And then we've got panel 3, which is just a few things here. It's not going to be that much work. So, and unfortunately, all of this work here, you're not even going to be able to see it. But the animated version comes out, you will see it. So it's not a waste. All right, let's see here. Let's take a screenshot of this so I can post it. That's cool. All right. Make sure this is saved. Now let's see. I was working on coloring. Been working on coloring. Okay, this is saved. So we'll kill this. There. Make sure this is saved. Yes, it is. Kill that. This one will go file, save as. The date is 5/27, 28, 2026. Warm up. That one. Close that. This one is I just archive everything now. 5/28, 26. B. Why? Just so it's all documented. Plus, it's like we're not gonna be here that long. You know, we don't get that much time to be alive. So the more stuff I document and keep, the more I can kind of. No, it's more I'm leaving behind. Let's pop open the Photoshop. Okay, we want to do 2 zombie commands. Where are we? At least 1 page. I'm running out of time. I got like 20, I got like 40 minutes I can get stuff done. So let's just go through. So this page first. Get you so you can see what I'm working on here. Okay. And then I need to do this one. All right, here we go. Okay, let's see what I've got going here is this. All right, so this is what we did yesterday. Well, we did quite a bit. Let's just do the sky, and then we're pretty close to being done with this panel. And so let's see here. To do the sky, go down here. Now select this. And this is background panel, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, way down here, above the flats, sky. Actually, it's going to go below the flats. We'll just use texture for this. We'll make this multiply. We'll go with a brush. We'll get a, come here. Come on, man. We'll get one of these things here. And, see what this looks like, what it does, if it does anything here. Zero. Brush. The flow all the way up. Is that gonna look like anything? Not what I want. The heck, where? Delete. Let's do a color from here. Try that one. What we can do with this. All right, let's knock that down. Okay, add something here. Let's get some grain in here. Some noise. Fill it with noise. Not what I want. Where's my grains? Here we go. Let's try this. Do a different color. We'll do a blue. And multiply. Okay, so let's turn this down. All right, better stop the Facebook stream here. Guys, I'm on the live stream. Well, I will explain later. Um, you don't. Let me see what I can do here. I think I'm gonna cut the stream. Gone long enough. Let's see here. Hit the. Problem is that's just white now. But at least we have some noise in the sky. It's not so lame looking. I'll leave it as is. Knock that down a little bit. Knock this down a little bit. I think that's good. Get the color hold on this guy. Well, he's just a little more integrated in with the environment. Cool. Same thing with them. That's done. That panel. Oh, he's got all this green. Okay, I gotta do that. I can fix that easy. What we'll do is layer here. Just take an airbrush. Why it flows so low? That's fine. Keep it like that. Right down there. All right, that works. All right, I'm gonna stop there for that one. We've got a complete panel here. Now I've got and we've got a complete panel here. Got to go through these two. But just to make progress on each piece, let's go. open up 9. 10 and 11 is going to be hard to set up. $12. See what we're dealing with here. Okay. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to make the dinosaurs and main characters brighter again, so we'll go duplicate that layer, turn it off, go down to the flats, and let's just select Dino. Really, the dinosaur should be bigger. I need to put a panel border on there. Dino. The heck, man. Dino again. Must have done that on the flats layer. This page was colored by me, but it was before I was really disciplined about organizing my layers. So I think that one we can keep. Now let's pop her out. Man, this is a pain, man. I got everything there. I'll have to manually do that part. I think that's everything. And now for this arm, I just want to get the part that is coming through the window. All right, that's good. There's some more to it though. Let's use the lasso here. Okay, I think that's it. All right, so what we're gonna do is turn on this one, go here, and we will just block out characters. Turn on this one, go here, and we're gonna go selection, inverse, and we're gonna block out the background. Okay, now we're left with what we had. And now if we turn the opacity down on this one more, well, I thought I blocked out the characters on that one. Oh, blocked out the background on that, I guess. So let's see if we turn the opacity down on this one. Looks like this one is the characters. So let's go to 0. And then we'll just turn it up a little bit. And we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Now let's see. Do I have letters? Okay, I got a joke there. I'll keep it in. And then man, I can't go full bleed. Maybe I can. Let's see what it looks like. Edit, copy, merged. Put it down here. File. Save as. This is page 12. I'll do 10 11 tomorrow. It's a 2-page spread. Maybe I should take that joke out of it. Because then we could just have it like this. Full bleed. And it would be, I think, maybe a little cooler. Let's make this a little bigger. Yeah. I'm gonna take that joke out so this page can just be a full bleed. The other option is bring it down to the size. And just put a panel border on that guy. Put a panel border around that whole thing. I'm gonna take the joke out because I think it's dumb. Take these out. And I'm gonna go with the panel border. Because that way, you know, you can see all the art. You don't have people's faces getting chopped off. do this here. Pen. Oh, we gotta use this. They changed it. It's a rectangle tool. If we put this on here, it'd go like this. For some reason it's the wrong color. Let's change the color to black. Around there. Rasterize this layer. So let's see here. That's pretty much going to be a full bleed. What I'm going to do now is just put a layer on top of this. Just want to make sure I get this color the same as the other ones. What? Open recent. What the heck? Why did I do that? I'm like just flubbing around with this now. It's really dark. Wrong page. That's what I did. I mean, it might look better if I just do. That there. And then if I make this black, that'll look better. Let's see if I make this later, if it looks better. I like that more, I think. It doesn't look so dark. Need that one. Go there with that, and then this. Use the stamp tool here. Get a little smaller. Just put this rectangle on top. Now I know exactly where to delete off. That's good. That. I'll just fill in all this. All right. Too much.
Let's see here. Alright, well, you did all that the old school way, which was not fun. Let's just use the stamp tool again. Man, I'm sick of this. Let's do it the new. Oh, wait. Oh, I just gotta try this. Uh, yeah, this will do it because I'm so tired of this stupid clone thing, man. What the hell is that? Kidding me? Wasted my time. All right, that's. I don't like it. Bad still. Bad. All right. Leave it at that. Now I gotta fix this. Oh, I didn't realize I was painting on top of that. So wrong, man. Damn it, dude. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Let's fix this here. All right. What is going on here? I gotta turn off these guides. I can't see what's what. Um. Yeah, see that? Glad I turned that guide off because I would have missed that. And the easiest fix for that is gonna be, I don't even know, man. What? I'm gonna have to do this later. That's all fine. That's fine. This is not. It'd be easier to just redo it. I wish this would have stayed on its own there. Okay, let's try this way. Just gonna do this. Black. Share. Mute. This is just bad. It's just all done. This was. It's all done incorrectly. All right, finally got that set up. That's gonna be better. Oh, not easy, that page to set up. I'm out of time. Let me see here. Um, what do we got here? Zone of the archives, backgrounds. Um, Can't do that. I need to put the noise on there. Oh. I'm just going to put a little bit of noise on this because it gives it a better kind of look and feel. Let me see what color it is. It's more yellows and blues. I don't really think this helps. I don't really think it does anything. I think 25% is what I set it at. Yeah. It's not what we want. It's less good with that, so we're just going to keep it off. I'm going to pull this down a little more. There. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another stream.